It's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the sound system demo of the 2022 Volkswagen Golf R, and it's 9-speaker, and it's already getting ruined by the, stop, let's just go away, cancel. Alright, there's a voice command that pops up if you say Volkswagen, I guess. But anyway, the Volkswagen Golf R. In today's review, we're going to try to get back to our infotainment screen. I don't know if that's... Cancel.
Cancel.
Great. Okay. Anyway, we're going to check out the infotainment system, take a look at speaker locations, audio adjustments, inputs, controls. Then we're going to go out on the road and listen to the sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. If you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning, you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on this car, check out our members-only sound system test. I recorded a test listening to music requested by members. It's real music, not these copyright-free songs that we test here. So if you want to check that out, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a look at the car. Yes, the 2022 Volkswagen Golf. We only get the GTI and the R here in the United States, and this R is a whole lot of fun to drive. 2-liter turbocharged motor, all-wheel drive, all the same ingredients from the previous one, but with more of a spicy driving experience. This one's featuring the 7-speed dual-clutch automatic. And if you do want to see more on the car, check the links in the description. We've got all sorts of videos. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. So let's take a look at those now. The new Volkswagen infotainment screen. Let's go here to sound. It's very responsive. So if you don't click that, if you just click on the car as new, you get 4 options here: pure, relax, speech, and vibrant. And those kind of curate the music to those kind of different listening profiles, if you will. So if you want to listen to music kind of just easy, you might choose relax. If you want to listen to a podcast or radio, you might choose speech. And vibrant is supposed to kind of pump things up a little bit. So let's go through those 4 now. That's sort of if you don't feel like messing with the EQ. But if you click here, you do get a 5-band equalizer, which I think is really cool. I think more automakers should start offering 5 or 9-band equalizers rather than just bass, mid-range, and treble. On top of that, you do have a subwoofer adjustment, though I do find it strange that subwoofer is on the treble side, the high-end side of adjustments, rather than being over in the low end. But either way, let's go through all of these and check them out. Actually, I'm going to wait for the song to get going a little bit more, and in the meantime, show you've got front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance, and also an adjustment for how much surround you want to have. I suppose we'll keep that at stereo for part of this, most of this test, because that would be the most pure sound experience, but yeah, you can bring that all the way up to surround and get more of a surround setting. So let's go through those 2 real quick. Stereo is going to be more true to recording for you. You can also focus the sound on certain seats, either driver, front, rear, or all. And then, like I said, fader and balance. Let's go through those EQs. So throughout this test, we're going to leave the EQ on standard, just flat, because that's how the audio engineers designed it to sound. But I will say that you can get a lot of adjustment with this system. So if you did own the car, you can kind of fine tune it more to your liking than you would be able to a lot of other vehicles. For audio controls in the new Volkswagen Golf R, you've got this stop.
Okay.
Geesh, I hope that you can turn that off. You can also, volume controls. You slide your finger right here, you got volume, or you can tap, tap, tap. You've also got the same sort of thing on the left side of the wheel here. For track selection, you can either use the touch screen. If you're on the right media screen there, you can choose your songs, or you can swipe or click right here on the right side of the steering wheel. For audio inputs in this car, don't want to say the name, you've got 2 USB-C ports, AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, wireless and wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and that's it. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, you don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, but that's not the end of the world. Also, there's no USB Type A's, so make sure you keep a little Type C to Type A adapter on you. For speaker locations, like I said, this is a 9-speaker system, but technically there is a 10th if you count the subwoofer. Starting in the bottom left, you've got door woofer, tweeter, center. That makes 5 in the front. And then in the back, door woofer, tweeter, although that might be a mid-range as well. So 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if we come on into the back, you have a subwoofer in here making what I would say 10. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto demonstrations. Yes, you can do Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly, but I tend to stick with wired connections, especially because it interferes with my camera if I use wireless. So I'm going to have to stop the music so that I can remove this USB and plug in my phones. Let's do Apple CarPlay first. Actually, we're going to do Android Auto first because it's still wirelessly connected to my Android device. So you can see the iPhone is actually plugged in, but it's defaulted to Android Auto. You can see there is Maps. There's YouTube Music, going through there. Let's go to kind of the home app screen. Good resolution and good responsiveness. There's settings as well. So how can we turn off Android Auto and enable CarPlay? Maybe I'll just try shutting off the Android Auto phone. There we go. Now, can I unplug and replug my Apple CarPlay device? I'm having a lot of trouble getting CarPlay going. Devices right here. It says additional devices. Charlie's iPhone. Oh, wait, there it is. Use CarPlay. All right, so it took a while, but now we got CarPlay launching. Any second now. Yay! There we have Apple CarPlay looking really good. These buttons on the side are a little small, but I like the resolution. There's Amazon Music. Google Maps. There's your home screen right there. Apps and settings. Looks really nice. All right, let's get the music going again and get out on the road. off pretty well that there's nothing offensive about the system. There's nothing drastically bad with it. It just doesn't have any sort of impressiveness or a wow factor to it. Even though we do have a dedicated subwoofer in the back, there isn't a big driving bass in this song. There's not a big overwhelming thump or satisfying sound to it. And the high ends aren't particularly crisp either. The only kind of like negative I could say is the mid-ranges are a bit hollow, but again, for being just a Volkswagen, the fact that we have a multi-band equalizer is pretty neat compared to most cars at this price point that would just be bass, mid-range, and treble. Speaking of that, for this next song, we'll turn the bass all the way up, see how it sounds. Mid-range bass, mid and high range bass when you get this 100 hertz level all the way up, but if we just do subwoofer, you're not getting any sort of mirror shakage, anything rattling your bones. It's just kind of there. My thoughts here with the Harman Kardon sound system in the 2022 Volkswagen Golf R. Yeah, it's a fairly average system. I think once you start paying $45,000 for a car like this, you might be a little like, yeah, I could get a little bit better from other brands. But to be honest, if you got something like a base 3 Series, you're not going to be getting any better sound quality. This to me is coming right in like a high C+, low B-. It's really tough for me. If I had to give it a strict letter grade, it'd be a C. So it's getting a C, but it's so close to on the cusp of a B, because there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, per se, it's just not impressive. It's just above average. In regard to the controls and the infotainment, I do think if you spend a while and acclimate yourself to the infotainment system, it's fine. For the controls, I'm not a big fan, and it's not exclusive to this car. Any vehicle that's switched over to haptic touch controls like this, whether it's a Ford Taurus from 10 years ago, or it's the new Mercedes-Benz S-Class, or it's the Honda Civic last generation, doesn't matter. I've always preferred knobs for volume and for most controls. So, yeah, is it fine? Yeah, whatever. It works, and you can get used to it. But that doesn't mean that I don't prefer a nice scrolly knob for changing tracks and changing volume especially. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you do want to see more on the 22 Golf R, check the link in the description because we do really enjoy driving it, and it does seem to be getting pretty good fuel economy on our test here. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.